honestly, I can use some excitement today. So I'm gonna go this way instead of that way. That way would be where I go straight ahead, but this time I'm turning left. I'm just gonna another run because this is a much longer path. When there's many car threats. Because you know when you drive up a hill, you get a pretty big blind spot. That's a cool sight. I should continue. Just a random pair of pants, I guess. I'll restrict myself only to running when the time and the blind spots require it. I started running, but time doesn't require it. Okay. You know, just seeing, what is it, like a baby carrying, what is that, baby seat, just on like over there, like, obviously they're giving it away, like, that can mean so many things, like, you know, there's that good thing, that good outcome, that you hope happen, but like, at the same time, baby shoes never worn. For those who want to follow along at home, we just passed telephone pole number 22. I believe we're going to be passing, maybe what is it, like 23 here? 21 and 23, what do you guys think? Ooh, 23. And I smell shit. I can smell, it's probably just a river, but it smelled fishy for a good 2 seconds. Alright, here's number 24 coming up. So apparently there was a shooting at Villanova today. Can we get 5 big booms? I'm kidding. Imagine having such a big property. Ooh. Endless field to run around in. That's wonderful. And we should probably run. Cause, ooh, sorry. Yep, here's a big blind spot. Any cars coming up, they won't see me for a good like 3 seconds. Because, you know, the car is directed towards the sky. So oh, we're at 30, number 30, everyone. And here's number 31, I suppose. Huh. 22,849. Wow, that jumped. Maybe you can tell how aged these telephone poles are. Oh, this is 31. By how much they lean. Because this one, it's a leaner. Look at that. Look at that angle, guys. Bam, right there. Whereas this one is as straight up as something I won't mention. And I bet this is 32. You can see that through the leaves. This is Robin Hood Road. Should I go on this road? I feel like I have in the past. I'll keep on going. I'm just curious about what lies ahead. This is number 33, everyone. I suppose this is number 34. Let's see, number 34. Yes! Beautiful. What a wonderful property. They've got a pool. They've got this big house. Imagine having an entire house to yourselves. Like a full-on, like, 7-room, like all the rooms are like more than 3 times your height. I mean, not 3 times your height, but like 3 times your wingspan. Me, I just have half a house. And I guess I've gotten used to being cooped up in my own little room like an animal in a fucking cage, dude. That's how I low-key feel walking around these huge houses. What are we at? 37. Ooh, look at that. Lucky number 37, everyone. Vertispleum knows that. It's a wonderful number for randomness and everything in between. But we gotta run because it's a big hill. And you know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a huge blind spot that happens. Lucky number 40, everyone. That's the age I hope to live to. Well, I'm gonna shoot myself in the fucking skull with my illegally bought AK-47. And someone's fucking trash out here. .42. Now this street is inhabited by the watch children. So if you're wearing a watch, you should take it off and put it in your pocket, because the watch children will steal it. They'll steal your watch. And if you happen to be carrying a grandfather clock, they'll count that as well. And you can see two of the watch children up ahead. They get pretty feisty when you don't answer back to them. Now, watch children. You can easily differentiate them from normal human beings from the fact that they are usually very fat. This is because they eat all the watches they steal. And if if their helpless victim tries to fight back, they'll dismember the body and eat it as well. So it's obvious that these watch people have had a lot of visitors from nowadays. This is what a good human should do. They should drive around in cars, because even a hoarder watch people cannot legally open your car door and drag you out. Yeah, even though they have questionable morals, they don't dare to stand above the law. Now the watch person up ahead has something called a watch surveyor or a watchdog. Ooh. And they sniff out those that have watches. They're trained to look at, to get attracted to anything that gleams in the light. So anything shiny it got, even if it's not a watch, the watchdog will likely still run at you. And oftentimes they aren't taught restraint. So if you got a watch on your arm, say goodbye to your hand. Unfortunately for me, I do not have anything valuable on me, for I correctly predicted that I'd be traveling through watch children territory. Now, that forested area is where the watch children make their primitive homes. Right? You can see how dark and cavernous it is down there. Yeah. They're fairly communal, I should say. They don't possess individual houses more than they possess giant structures where hundreds of them live at a time. It's like apartments, but not really man-made, but built out of scavenged stuff. Anything they don't deem valuable enough to eat, they will probably just stuff it into their housing structures, which makes it more stable, right? You might be wondering, but these large houses, if they're living deep in those woods, what are the large houses for? Well, of course they're as a bait and switch, you know? They have these huge houses that are not only pleasing to the eye, but also heavily realistic. This isn't a human community, but if you were to look at it from afar, without the that sign blatantly warning of watch children, you wouldn't have known there was watch children here, right? That's because the houses are so realistic, and they're just like within the bounds of like the normal like economic lifestyle. So like they don't seem too rich or too poor, you know? Otherwise you might get suspicious and think there was watch children there, you know? So they're heavily strategic about these houses. Even here I'm skeptical because like they're like the large houses that you see on the other street. Even though I see no sign of the watch children sign, I'm still very cautious. Yeah, and they even have signs like this to add to the disguise. They hold events, so to speak, so they can seem normal. They can seem active instead of just hiding out and about and wandering around for unsuspecting targets, that sort of thing. Now, I'm not really being attacked because, number one, it's pretty late in the day, so, I mean, it's like dusk, right? It's beginning to become dusk. So, like, these watch children, they prioritize nighttime because, like, it's easier to prey on unsuspecting victims when it's so dark outside, right? So, like, you saw only like 4 or 5 people, watch children outside. You know, like at night, there's gonna be a full like 40 to 50, and most of them will be hiding behind trees and like acting as like watchers, like watchers. To like they'll sit on top of those trees, those big trees, and they'll like look down at the ground with some night goggles or whatever technology they have, and they'll look for these unsuspecting victims with treasure to steal, and they'll like notify their partners in crime, and they'll like just create this trap for them, right? But now, since it's only dusk, there's 4 or 5 people here, and besides, me, I'm really ugly, so you know, like there isn't much appeal for someone who has no treasure, no beauty standard, no weight too. Look at me, I'm as thick as a stalk of grass. How about that? Ooh, what is that sound, man? It's hurting my ears, dude. I think this is the signal the watch children give. That signals that like it's nighttime and they're out to feast, you know? Because not only is it like distinct, it's very piercing to those who are not watch children. Like watch children have specialized ears, right? They've done this alarm so many times that the ears are adapted to this thin sound, and it doesn't hurt them. It actually makes it louder, but that makes it much less painful. So it's just a single like, it's like, you know, a church bell would sound, you know? Like it doesn't really hurt, but it's like, you notice it very quickly, right? Same thing. So to watch children, it's just some signal, but to the humans, it's deafening, it's piercing, you know? And so like, the first watch children will like get up and look around and see any humans still affected by the piercing sound, and they'll and they'll like know their first targets, right? And obviously for me, I'm very small, you know? Not only am I thin, I'm very small. So amongst the dense foliage, they probably wouldn't have noticed me, which is ironic because their homes are trees, so they should be able to differentiate humans from trees, honestly. Kind of a fault on them. Now, we always got to be careful about watch children, okay? So, right now, I see nothing, right? No watch children signs. Uh-oh. There's a sign. There's a fucking sign. Watch children. Oh boy. Better keep an eye out, right? Now, watch children communities can exist in many different shapes and sizes, right? Like right here, we know it's a watch community or a watch. There are watch children here, and yet there's sidewalks. There's full sidewalks and these huge additional layers between the actual road and the houses. But this contrasts with the very much lack of sidewalks in the earlier sections, and yet we still know that there's watch children here. You can tell that, at least in this community, you can hear a lot of crickets, right? And they are what we call the watch children's messengers, you know? Like, watch children are so primitive that they don't have internet. They have something much closer to carrier pigeons, but in this case it's carrier bugs. Right? They have crickets and fireflies, right? Fireflies carry the message, like the children speak the message to the firefly in some specialized language. Then the firefly goes to the target, like the recipient, and then they beam out the message in that code, in that light that they use. In crickets, it's different, but with sound. So they tell the message to the cricket, then the cricket goes to the recipient, or maybe goes to another cricket, which tells it to another cricket. It's like a game of telephone. And then the chain of crickets eventually gets to the recipient, so you can hear a message being relayed right now. God, that's loud. And then the cricket speaks it with that cricketing noise to the recipient. It's very intricate, yet it's surprisingly, well, it's intricate, but it's it's not internet, you know. At least they don't have these huge wires going around. But yeah, that's all you need to know about watch children. So be wary next time you're outside, all right?